This is the first hand, which is a David Bird hand that I have purloined for our purposes. And I think I had to invent the auction because most of his auctions are ACL auctions, and he probably didn't give one. And I just thought, well, let's give a 2/1, or at least what I think is a 2/1 auction with North opening semi short, well, three card club suit, and then they discover the heart pit and go to game. The lead is reasonably natural, just because North bid clubs doesn't mean it's a club suit, and anyway, it's a safe Queen Jack 10. And the hand is, well, really easy to analyze, but at the same time, quite difficult because it's quite an extended process. But it's easy to analyze in the following sense. You can count up your winners, but this hand is much better done by counting up your losers. You can see that you must lose the Ace of Hearts. You must really lose one in spades, unless I suppose there's a singleton king of spades, but I don't even know the chance for that. It's microscopic. You must lose one in diamonds because the Ace of Diamonds is in their hand. And if you do nothing whatsoever and they keep playing clubs, you will lose a club trick as well. So easy to analyze. You are going to go down with a loser in every suit, unless, of course, you can do something about it. So where can we find an additional trick from to get rid of one of these losers? Well, not in diamonds. I mean, we have King, Queen, Jack, and they have the ace, okay? Not in hearts. They're definitely going to win the ace of trumps. And I don't really see where we can get an extra trick out of that club suit. Ace and king are fine, but after that, they're really in charge of the third round. But I do have values in the spade suit. So this must be all about playing the spades to generate another trick to discard our club loser. And notice they've started on the club suit. So it's not even a relaxed hand. I've got to do something about this as soon as possible because they're already partway there to manufacturing their club trick. So how can I get extra tricks out of spades? Well, there's one obvious one. The Queen of Spades is the right side of the king. So I set up the Queen of Spades as a winner and use the Ace of Spades to discard my losing club. And the other one, less obvious, is that the Jack of Spades is with West, and then I could manufacture an extra trick by leading towards the Ace 10 of Spades, and so getting an extra trick that way. So which is better? Well, better, of course, is to try both, if only you could. And I concerned here about the lack of entries to dummy. Let me show you what happens if I try to set up a spade trick. I'm going to win in dummy so I can lead a spade straight away. So I lead a spade and, oh, look, the king is right, I think. Goody, I've made the contract. But have I made the contract? Because, yes, I can win the second round of clubs. Yes, I can set up my ace of spades. I'm all set to discard my losing club on the ace of spades, queen of spades. That one, right? Okay.
You haven't got a helicopter to get there, have you?
I've got to get there. So if I play a heart, they'll rise with the ace of hearts and cash a club. If I play a diamond, and if I give them the club trick, I'm not going to make my contract because I don't have the entries to the dummy. So I'm going to go back here then because
hang on, Alan. Sanya says, "Can you save it like this and then go carry on?"
Okay. So so save it at this point here.
Save it one down. Yeah.
Because one down because making.
No, 1 6 That's it.
Got there at last. Okay. So everybody's happy with, and you should play that through in your mind, of course. I'm going to lead towards the Queen of Spades, and only how am I going to get back there? You should think that through and realize it's all very well that the Queen of Spades is set up. It's not sufficient. So What you must do then is fall back on your second chance. So, yeah, this bug where you can't load the same file twice in succession. Okay, so let's export it again to the table. And okay, so it was a 4-heart contract by South, I think. 4 heart. So let's just go straight there. Okay, we lead the Queen of Clubs. It's still right to keep that Ace of Clubs to the south hand, not because so much because I want to go and lead towards the Queen of Spades, but because I want the entry to take the finesse of the Ace 10 of Diamonds. So again, I'm going to rise with the King, but for slightly different reason this time. Again, I'm trying to set up my spade, and the thing to realize is if I play low, I'm going down. I'm not looking to make the Queen of Spades as a trick. I'm looking to find the Jack of Spades on the left and a trick out of the Ace and 10 of Spades. So they, of course, will keep hammering away, and now it's all or nothing. I'm either going to make this contract or go 2 down. So I normally shut my eyes at this stage, since and when I open them, lo and behold, I managed to get my discard by playing for the additional trick in
My little baby boy, baby boy.
We need to move to everybody, Alan.
because I'm sharing screens, Colin. That's not as easy as you might think. Mute myself. No trouble muting myself.
Go to participants and you'll get a mute.
Will I? Participants.
Oh no, mute me.
Mute all. I'm okay. You're muted as well, Colin. I'm sure you can undo it.
Oh.
All right. Normally, if you want to go and say something, you can click on your microphone and get back in. Yes, you're okay. I haven't got rid of you forever, however. I need backup here, Colin.
I am here.
Oh, what a relief. So,
Yeah.
okay, so there we go. It's a matter of realizing you've got this emergency on, but also being realistic about where you can get an extra trick from to discard one of your 4 losers. So we found it, and now, of course, well, we're going to do sensible things like lead a trump to start drawing the trumps, and well, you can see they're going to make the Ace of Diamonds. I've got plenty of coverage. I can rough the 7 of Clubs with the 10 of Hearts if necessary, so I've got no problems. I'm going to claim this one, but this time I'm going to claim everything except the Ace of Diamonds, so I have to be claiming it as making. Yes, I'm sorry I forgot it. Sanya, I was so busy setting up the record that I forgot about incidentals like that. That's board 1. So I'm now looking to see if there's any queries. No. Okay, so everybody's happy how you find an extra trick in the spacesuit and go on and make a contract. Let's load another one.
I think that's very easy to miss that one, Alan, unless people.
Well, it's easy because the
yeah.
temptation is once the King of Spades goes up, you think, "Oh, I've done it. I've got my
exactly." Yeah.
Yeah, that's the that's why it's so
you
hard.
need to look ahead to see what's going to happen next.
Okay. So I'm going to follow this auction then. Pass 1 diamond. 1 heart. Pass 2 hearts. Pass. Is that right? This is passing 4 hearts. Okay. And pass. There we go. So how's that worked as an auction? South opened a diamond. I also I strongly approve of getting into the hand with any strong hand. So it's not great news that they've bid diamonds, but I really feel you have to get into the auction while you can. And well, let me have a look at see where's this one from. This is another David Bird hand, but I must say I strongly approve of the. I play a simple raise, shows at least a 3-card fit with 6 to 9 points. So there's 6 high cards and the doubleton spade. So I like the raise, and then West is delighted and goes on to game. Okay, so the lead is going to be the 10 of diamonds. That's the rule. That's the suit the partner opened. And so that gives South an easy option for an additional trick. I'll come back to that later. But at the moment, what South is likely to see is that surely partner's got a doubleton to leave the 10. So if I win the king and the ace and another diamond, partner will ruff it and we will have gained a trick. So ends with the there, carries on with the there we go. And now the third card, of course, is a suit preference, telling partner what to play back. And you clearly want a club. So the nine of diamonds will be asking for the high suit, the spade suit, the 2 of diamonds for a club, but we want a club. So we play it to, oh dear, I must change this mouse. Okay, so we leave the 2, and yay, well done, partner. We managed to make our additional trick. And look, here comes partner, playing the club just as I wanted. I'm all set up to take additional tricks as well the moment I get in, or we get in. Okay, let's go over to West now. That was pretty awful. Of course, it's never good to have length in the opponent's first bid suit, but it could have been better. Colin?
I said needs must, yeah.
Needs must, okay.
I'll have a question to ask you at the end of the hand, but I'll ask you at the end.
Okay, so I am going to, well, how do I make it? Well, the obvious way to make it is to finesse in spades. South did open, might have the king of spades, and then ruff my remaining spade, and the queen of diamonds will be good once I've drawn the trumps. But there is a slight alternative edge that you can actually try first. If you play off the ace of hearts, where are we? Okay, over there. So play a heart to the ace. It's just possible that North started with the doubleton trump and is out of trumps. And if he is, I can use that queen of diamonds to throw away a spade. But you say he probably isn't. Well, that's true. Probably North has 3 hearts and will ruff my queen of diamonds, but then I'm back in the same position. I need to go. Colin?
I said you're no worse off. You can still
no
take
worse off. Yeah, that's right. I still have to take a winning spade finesse, ruff my spade in order to make the contract. So this is just an additional chance, and it comes off, of course, because North did have a doubleton trump. So this gamble against nothing is succeeding. Now I could just make the contract in a trivial way, because I can ruff my 2 losing spades high with the queen 10. I can ruff one of the clubs low just to I know for sure that South is out of the trumps anyway, but I ruff it, and then I'll have the king jack 9 of hearts left. So I'm going to cut all this short and claim the contract as making, because I make the rest of the tricks. Okay, now I should say that does often happen, that when you continue to play a suit, I've seen people lead singleton diamonds and find partner with ace to 5, and partner takes the ace and returns a diamond, and yes, you gained a trick by ruffing, but you have set up declarers king, queen, jack to 5 diamonds while you're doing it, and it's not so good for your side. So should South have played to set up a diamond? Well, let's put the hand up again. Again, this irritating bug. And you cannot load the same file twice.
If you keep it open, you can. If it's still open, you can send it to the table again.
I thought it might be distracting for people watching the show.
Yeah, I appreciate why, but I'm just saying you can do that.
Okay, so export to build to the table. There we go. So I won't go through the long sequence. Effectively, West ends up playing in 4 hearts. So let's put a couple of passes in, and then 4 hearts. Okay, and let's do the same lead. Well, I think it's probably true that it's going to do the 3 here, but there is an alternative line for South here, because he can see that ace of diamonds, rough a diamond will set up 1 trick for us, but also set up a diamond discard for declarer, which, especially with that doubleton spade in dummy, could be crucial. So what would be the alternative line for South to play? Well, he could play partner to have some sort of decent holding in the spade. So if he goes and switches to a spade, now West has no recourse for making the contract. The one thing he can't do is play the queen of spades, or even just duck it, run it round, letting North win. Yes, North can't continue spades, but North doesn't have to. North knows how to get another trick because he knows his partner's got the ace of diamonds. And so now we set the contract rather as before, but having already established a spade trick beforehand. So probably West will realize this. Yeah. I should have rebooted my computer quite something. Probably West will rise with the ace. Well, I must say, how will he continue? If he, I think he has to go and draw trumps. Oh,
9 tricks unless the king of spades is right.
Can't we, if he needs a diamond towards the queen jack, let me just check what he can do. Show double dummy options. Oh, he has no options. He's always going down. So, okay. So, as I suspected that he would go down, high double dummy. I would have thought he would try to draw some round of trumps here. And oh damn, I should take one of the trumps in the other hand. Never mind. So if I do that, that actually clears the danger of the rough. Now I can play a club to the ace. And can't I now leave the diamond through at this point?
Yeah.
So, oh, I see. He's no, he's got the queen of hearts to rough the last spade.
Yeah, but it's when you lose the diamond, he'll clear the trump so that you can't rough the spade.
Oh, thank you, Colin. I'm really not with it today. I used to be good at this, you know. Yes, he will clear the trump.
Well, yeah, that's in days gone by. Yeah, we know.
I used to be able to play it. Right, okay. So we're going to clear the trumps, and now he's left with 2 spade losers because partner did have good spades. So I'm going to claim this as 1 down on this defense. Claim making +1, making a going 1 down. So that is going 1 down. Don't know why I'm finding it so hard recently, Colin. Okay.
Can I ask my question now?
Not just yet. Just let me have a look.
Okay, go ahead. Carry on.
Okay, I was just going to say, I don't think it's absolutely clear that you should switch to a spade. You have to, in these situations, make up your mind. If I go and get the ace of diamonds, that's a third trick straight away. Will I be able to come to a fourth? Am I, however, setting up declarer suits and assisting declarer in making the contract? If you think three tricks isn't enough, declarer is then going to romp home, you should be switching to something, even the king of clubs, maybe, to try and get additional tricks out of clubs. So it's not absolutely clear, but if you suspect that giving partner the ruff will just assist declarer, then think of doing alternative things as you play the contract. And
It's
now
worth remembering that we don't know that West has a singleton club.
No, you don't. So, but there again, that means ace of diamonds, king of diamonds, ruff of diamond looks good, because if there's a doubleton club, I'm going to make a trick with my
Exactly.
clubs. I think I say I don't find it at all obvious to go, but I do put this warning out. If you feel that you are setting up an easy set, so especially when it's a 5-card suit, and you're setting up, yet you're taking a ruff in that suit, but setting up loads of winners, it very often is the wrong thing to do, to take the ruff and help declarer in a different way. Now, Colin, we're all waiting for the question.
Well, Bob is saying he's frustrated. I mean, Sanya's asking why he's frustrated, and you take Bob's comment first. Yeah.
He hasn't made it. Well, he says, "Oh, I can see things when they're claimed early. I don't know who is speaking, or I mean, what point of view is he? Oh, you can't see things when they're claimed early. Oh, right, okay. And yes, I do switch from being east or being west. I'll try and specify who I am when I use pronouns. But I'm sort of, sometimes I'm thinking this is as west what I should do, and then later on, now I'm north, and now I'm going to try and make the contract. So I will try and be a bit more clear. As for claiming early, perhaps I don't know, because if everybody else can see it, then they will have to wait while we play it through to a point where you can see it, Bob. Perhaps I should be asking you if it's all right to claim. That would be perhaps the way forward. And then if you need to see more of the tricks, right, we'll try that on hand 3. When I'm about to claim, I'll ask if you can actually see it.
Wait a minute, then don't go on yet. Okay.
Oh, the person with the question.
I've still got a question I wanted to ask you. No, my question is simply this, Alan.
Yep.
Is there a point where you think, how strong can your simple overcalls be? I mean, for me, this would be very close to a double rather than bidding over. My partner would not expect me to have those sort of values for a simple 1-heart overcall. Now, I know it varies from person to person, but I'm sort of wondering what your views are. If my king of diamonds, queen of diamonds had been the king of diamonds, would you then double, or would you still bid 1-heart? There must be a limit where you think, I'm too strong just to bid 1-heart.
It's not just the point count here, Colin.
No, of course not.
I am concerned that if I double, East might say bid 3 clubs. Now, should I then bid 3 no trumps and find I can't reach partner's hand? He's jumped it on king, queen, jack to 6 clubs or something. Or should I bid my heart suit and then find that actually
singleton, yeah.
So also when I was still reading the magazine, the magazine I used to read was International Popular Bridge Monthly, which was superb towards the end in giving insights and so on. But alas, went to the wall. And the experts in there were saying that they changed from doubling on 7. They used to be a double showed up to 16, but they said they were finding it better to switch to double and bid a suit showed 18.
Right.
So experts in the magazines were talking of switching to a higher range than just 17.
So your simple overcall can be effectively from anything up to 17.
A lot depends. I must say, if I had a singleton club here, sorry, a singleton diamond, and those I would be putting in a
If
double.
your diamonds have been clubs, you'd be done.
Yeah, I would upgrade the hand because I got a singleton diamond and make
Yeah,
it in
yeah.
my mind at 18 count. But I say, I I don't think the hand is quite as good as it looks just by adding up the high card point.
No. I'm not arguing. I'm just wondering what where you set the limit, so to speak, because I know some people will double on any opening hand regardless of its distribution,
Oh
and others,
yes.
well, you've seen it yourself, So I
I
just wondered where you were. Yeah.
I certainly the one thing I do ask for an overcall is you have a good suit. The one thing I really think is terrible is when you go and overcall on, I don't know, ace to five, so partner leads away from his queen of spades and gives away
Yeah.
the contract.
Yeah.
Okay, moving on to board number 5, which is core
Thank
3,
you.
which I can't load because I've loaded it before. Oh dear. Okay. Okay.
Thank you, Jack. Yeah.
Go to the table.
We need to remember, Alan, that when I'm talking to you, the people on BBO Voice can't hear my questions. So,
Oh, I don't. Yes. Okay. Perhaps an exception should be made. Colin, you're on both. You know, Sandy
I think
hates
if
it.
I go on both, I think I shall get all sorts of echoey things. That's
Well, that's what she says, but right. Okay, so it's one low trump. Pass. Transfer to spades. Yes. Two spade. Now I remember inventing this auction because I had to go and check that in Ackle, I would have jumped to three spades, which is shows a six-card suit and is inviting slam. But having checked my 2/1 card, after one no trump jumps to the 3 level show singletons in the jumpsuit with usually 5-4-3-1 distributions. At least it does in the Ackle version of 2/1. So I believe this is a strong sequence. Interested in slam.
not what.
And since I'm inventing the sequence and really I want to reach six spades, I have no idea what I'm doing. I then finish the auction with a six spade. So I imagine since I invented the auction, it's another David Bird hand. Let's take a look. Next. And a David Bird hand with an abbreviated auction to try and get. Yes, he did give an auction here, but it was an Ackle auction and went on forever. So you didn't want to hear it. Okay, so the lead is the 7 of hearts. And let's analyze this from the point of view of declarer, who is south. I seem to have 6 spade tricks, 2 heart tricks, 1 club trick. Those are the top tricks. So that's 6, 7, 8, 9. And I need 3 more tricks. Now, they can't come from clubs. The trouble is that while if I could lead small to the queen of clubs and find the king on side, losing that club trick allows them to cash the ace of diamonds and set me. So although the club suit is attractive, I can't actually use that. And therefore, it has to be that I'm going to make many tricks. Well, 3 tricks to be precise. I've got 9. I need, that's right, 6, that's 9. I need 3 more tricks in the diamond suit. Now, there's various ways that this might happen. One of them is that diamonds simply break 3-3. So if they're 3-3, I can just do whatever I like, really. Lead the king of diamonds from hand. It doesn't matter. They will break, and I will score my 5 of diamonds at the end. But more common, of course, that's only a 36% chance, 35.5. More likely, they're breaking 4-2. So in that case, well, there's still chances. One of them is simply they've broken 4-2 with East having a doubleton ace. So if East has a doubleton ace, lead once towards the king, but go back and do it again. And if it's a doubleton ace, East will have to rise with it. And then now I'm left with just my king, queen, jack of diamonds. Hooray, I've made the contract. And then the last chance is that East has it, but he's the person with 4 cards in the diamond suit. Well, that takes a lot of work because I have to get past that ace of diamonds 3 times. I've got to go and lead a diamond, go back, lead a diamond towards I've played the king already, lead by and then I've got to yet again go back and make a final triumphant lead of the diamond to set up my final diamond winner. So do I have the entries for that? Well, let's see. I'm going to win a heart. Well, let's play this a little because Bob will like this. Oh, there's interesting questions what East plays here. Let me come back to that question later. Let's say he just plays an 8. Who knows, right? So if I actually draw the trumps, let's see if I have the entries I have to draw. I should be doing this in my head, of course, not playing the actual cards out. Okay, king over, right, and now I can draw the last trump. And I'll draw the last trump then, just to show that being done. And how many times can I lead diamonds? I can lead it once. I can cross back to the ace of hearts and lead it again. But I've gone wrong, haven't I? I've got no way back to dummy to lead diamonds for the 3rd time, which is my best chance of bringing in the diamond suit, leading the diamonds once, twice, thrice towards the hand. I can lead it once now. I can use the ace of hearts to get back and lead it again, but then I'm stuck in my hand to make the 3rd lead away from the jack of diamonds. So not so good. Drawing trumps is therefore, as so often, not the right thing to do.
But there's always the possibility, Alan, that East will make a mistake and take the 2nd diamond when you play it, which is what happened at one table I watched. Yeah.
Oh, even though they should be ducking, yes, give them every chance to rise. Anyway, here we go. So lead the diamond now. So a cool East. You're not really going to signal because the 10 and 9 are maybe winners. So it's normal to play small here. And I play my king, the least revealing card I can do. And I would imagine he goes and signals his count. Okay, now I've got one of my leads in. Now I'm okay to go and draw the trumps because I can draw the trumps ending in dummy for my 2nd lead. I can use the ace of hearts for my 3rd lead. So now is definitely the time to go and draw the trumps. So here we go. Overtake, of course, to be able to draw the 3rd one. Excellent. The breaking 3-2. This. And I don't know what he would throw. Okay, here we go. 2nd diamond. And again, if he rises, he's just giving you these 2 diamond tricks. So the way to make things as difficult for me as possible is to duck again. It's not like you're going to make, not with partner playing the, at least I don't think so. Partner had 4. Anyway, I'm a great believer in ducking. Okay, and now I can do a 3rd lead. I played for this, so I deserve it. When the last diamond comes, well, now East has no recourse. If he plays the 10, I'm going to make the jack, and he'll probably just sort of say, well, I may as well play the ace. But of course, I've now got the last trick that I want. He'll probably play hearts, actually, but no problem. I rough the heart, play a club over, and then my jack gives me the discard that I need to make my contract. So I'm going to claim now, Bob. I'm hoping that you like it. Okay, that's good. So let me claim, because well, we have to please the mistress of ceremonies, you know. So claim contract making, and I'll just go back to um, a point about the lead, because East did have some options here. So let's put it back. It's export to the Tourney table. Okay, the contract was 6 spades by Sal. So 6 spades to get it over with.
Right.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. And the lead was the 7 of hearts or something like that. Okay. Now here's the thing. East should have two things going through his mind. One of them is that he can play the Queen of Hearts, and another one is that he can play just the 8 of Hearts and keep his Queen Jack 10. Now, you shouldn't be thinking meanly here. There's not going to be any. You are not going to draw trumps, and you need that Queen Jack 10 to cash 3 tricks. When you go and do this, whatever you do is for information purposes. You very mildly weaken your suit by if you do decide to play the Queen, and you very mildly strengthen your suit if you play the 8. But it's more about what these things mean. Well, here's the thing. One of them is you never drop the Queen from Queen Doubleton. It's a bad thing. So if you do the Queen, what it means is you definitely have the Jack, and normally it is showing a solid sequence. So it wouldn't be silly to drop the Queen here if the message you're trying to give to partner is, I've got the hearts wrapped up. I've got Queen Jack 10 on this side of the table. I'm looking after the heart suit. But there's another meaning for this card as well. So let me just go back to where we're discussing it. The other concept of signaling here is that when it's obvious that you actually have no winners in the suit led, often this is because there's a singleton in the dummy. So the partner leaves the ace and there's a singleton in dummy. Your signal has got nothing now to do with the strength of the heart suit. It is telling partner where your strength lies, and if he's on lead, what he should be switching to. So if you're playing, because that's what I would be playing here, I would be thinking, we're not going to get something. I should be telling partner what to go and switch to if he gets in again. Now, I certainly don't want partner leading away from the king of clubs. So I might go and play the queen anyway, but not as well, not it will also show very good hearts, of course, but more the fact that that is a high rank card and is suggesting to partner that partner should be playing a high ranked suit back to me next time. So my concept is if at trick 2 a club finesse is taken, my Queen of Hearts would be asking partner to switch to diamonds because that is a good suit for me. So those are the things you should be thinking of. And say if this actually was, I don't know, if partner had, because I mean, there's Ace King here, so the meaning of which suit should I be switching to is really the preferred ones. But in other situations, uh, you know, your partner goes and leaves the 2 of hearts and the ace is played from dummy. If you play the queen, you are promising a holding like Queen Jack 10 or more and saying this is a perfectly safe suit, partner. Keep on going. This is where tricks lie. I have very good hearts. So depending on the context, there's different meanings for the cards you play. Colin, anything to add here?
No, I don't think so. Thank you, Anna.
Okay, let's move on to board 4 then. Show double dummy, export to the table. Okay, so pass, 1 spade. Two diamonds. I know. Interesting. I mean, some people might do a weak three diamonds, but this person might be thinking of getting the clubs in later after two diamonds, two spades, three clubs. So two spades, pass, and four spades. I always like to big game whenever I have the slightest excuse. So where's this hand from? Is this another David Bird one? Yet another David Bird hand. Okay. So the lead is the King of Diamonds, this is mid. And I've got five spade tricks, two heart tricks for 7, ace of clubs for 8. If the ace of diamonds stands up, 9, and my jack and 10 of diamonds will certainly lead to a 10.
Sorry to interrupt you, Alan. There are a couple of questions on board 3 that are on your screen that you haven't seen.
They shown no interest. That's
Well, Blunt02 is asking to confirm that the Queen of Hearts indicates a diamond, and yes, she's absolutely right, yes. And Bob is suggesting that some time ago, Texas transfer, so 1-0 trump 4 diamonds, for example, to bid spades, showed I wanted to play there and no further interest. And is that still the case? I think that very much varies according to partnership agreement, Bob.
I think so too. I keep finding the card I play differs substantially from what other people play, and I think the robots play something different again. So 2/1 is such a non-standard system. The only thing I was sure of, that the Ackle 3 spade bid was wrong because it showed a specific but totally different sort of hand.
I think Robert, the thing is that it's what you agree with your partner. You know, it's not that bad thing to play, but I don't think there's a standard meaning for it now.
And Marge, you say, does it ask for a diamond? The Queen. Oh, this is on the last hand. It did, but it doesn't actually ask for a diamond. The normal argument is, I am doing this as a signal of what to switch to. Now, if you're switching, it's not the suit being played. It's also, you always assume you're never asking the partner to switch to trumps. That's declare a suit. So when you ask him to switch, you're asking him to switch between the remaining two suits. And when you play a high rank cards, you're asking for the higher rank of those suits. And when you play a low card, you're asking for the lower rank of those two other suits. Now here the missing suits were diamonds and clubs. So the higher rank one was diamonds. And that is why the Queen of Hearts would have been asking for a diamond, right? But in other situations, if trumps, say, had been clubs, and I'd have made the same heart discard, now I would have been asking for a spade, the higher ranked of the remaining two suits, which now would be spades and the diamonds. So say, when you say, is it diamonds? Yes, it was on that hand, but more generally, it's the higher ranked of the remaining two suits. Not the one played, not the trump suit. And you have to say, okay, got it now, to reassure me that things are fine. Well done. Okay.
Back to board 4, Alan.
Back to board 4. Yes, we'll get through this by midnight. Don't you worry, everybody. Well, midnight for me.
Yeah, which day, Alan?
12 o'clock, which day? It's all right for them. They're in the USA. It's probably about 1 p.m. They're just getting going to play. Right, come on then. So if all goes well, I'll make the ace of diamonds because he overcalled. He's probably got a 5-card suit, but it could be 6. Certainly won't be 4. Now, if it's a 6-card suit, that's not quite so good. Because if I play the ace of diamonds, it's going to be roughed. And now I'm much more restricted about, I mean, I haven't got my ninth trick at all with the ace of diamonds. So I've got to now make additional tricks out of the remain, and he can put his queen of diamonds on. Maybe I can make it anyway. Not entirely sure, but the way I can be sure of getting the tricks I want, even if he does have five, is simply to let a ruff take place. So if I go and play small, even if North follows, then the next time North will ruff, but South, by leading diamonds again, if he leads the queen, he sets up my jack and my 10. And if he needs a low one, I can just run it round to the jack and keep my ace and 10 in dummy. And if, as here, North is void from the start, then I've very definitely done the right thing to get as many tricks out of the diamonds as I can. So North will, I don't know, probably play with there because he wants another one. And I'm guessing he will then give his partner a diamond ruff. So probably with his original fourth highest. Actually, that's untrue. Again, when you're giving partner ruffs, you tell partner what to play back. And it's the same rules I just gave you a moment ago. If you go and play a high rank card, it's saying lead back a high ranked suit to me. And if you play a low card, you are asking for a low rank suit. Well, obviously, I would like a club return when partner gets in. So actually, I would need the 3 in real life to, this is a South, I would lead the 3 to tell partner, when you ruff this, play a club back. I've got good clubs and we have tricks in that suit. So this is where, of course, I keep my high cards. And indeed, they get their ruff. But I have to be a little careful here. If I just carelessly play the 7, I am making it difficult for myself to take my 2 diamonds. I will have to play the jack, which a good player would never cover, and then I've got to get over to dummy to cash the ace. Far better is to throw the jack away and leave myself with a tennis position. Now I can leave the 7 of diamonds and take the ace and 10 of diamonds whenever I want to. Well, North will do as told. I imagine he'll leave the jack. What can he see? East is yeah, maybe partner's got the ace of clubs, and maybe so I think he'll leave the jack to try and pin any holding on that side of the table. But we are in the clear at this point. We're obviously going to win, at least I think is obvious. I haven't thought it through. I'm going to draw the trumps. And if I draw the trumps, I'll have 5 tricks there, 2 tricks there, and 2 more diamonds to finally make my contract. So when I can count the tricks out, the safe way always to make a contract is to draw the trumps, give them no further chances to what will he roll? He needs to keep 2 diamonds, I suppose, but okay, another one to draw the trumps. And there, and now I'm all set. And now I have no. And see, if I'd have kept that jack of diamonds, I really would be in trouble here. South should never cover because you cover the jack to set up the 10, and the 10 is in dummy. You can see it. So really, South shouldn't cover, and then I will be stuck, not able to get my 2 diamonds. So whatever he does, the 9, he puts the 10 on, the queen, he puts the ace on. And here I am cashing my additional winner. I don't know what I would throw, really. I suppose I may as well throw the club. I'm going to lose a heart here. Are you okay, Bob? I've got 2 spade winners, 2 heart winners. I will lose a heart trick to so unless Bob yells to the table, I'm about to claim 4 more tricks here. All right. Oh, I haven't finished the last.
5 more, including.
That's because I haven't clicked, or I did click and my mouse didn't work again. 4 more tricks here. So 4 and 6 makes 10. Claim the contract. Come on, come on, come on. There we go. And so I'm just making. And I don't know. I say I can see that if I duck the diamond, I'm perfectly safe. I don't know how good I am with actually. Now I think about it, if I'd have covered that king of diamonds with the ace, I think actually I really am in trouble
Yeah.
because I have to draw 3 rounds of trumps and I have no entry to the dummy. I've only got this 10 of diamonds. So it's true, if he beats the jack of diamonds with the queen, I have an entry to dummy. But a good player would dot the jack of diamonds, win the queen, and I would be cut off from my additional diamond tricks. So I'd probably land on my feet if he'd overcalled a 5 card diamond suit, but prepare for the worst. And if you can see an alternative line, which I could do by ducking the diamond, I could see I'm definitely going to keep loads of diamond tricks, then follow that line instead. You went into more pronouns near the end, but you followed for a while. Oh dear. Okay. Try and improve. Like my report cards at school, could do better. Export to the table. Yep.
These days, what my report card said every term.
Oh, you must tell me sometime what they say.
I'll tell you now, I got
Ooh.
one particular teacher put the same thing every term, all the time I was at school. And he said, the report always said, I'm sure he does good work if only I could read it. And that was word for word. Word for word what he said every time. My handwriting was atrocious.
Okay. Who knows? Let's have a peek and see where this one came from. Next is a David Birdhand. Oh, it says optimistic bidding. So so it's gone. I see. Yes, the one spade bid could be much worse than that, couldn't it? But he's hardly got a 3 spade bid, and he's got loads of losers: Doubleton Diamond, Doubleton Club. Yeah, I think optimistic bidding is the right word. Really, you'll probably go down more often than you make. So okay, well, East finds the only lead to actually allow the contract to make. And my memory is that almost everybody got this one right. So well done if I remember correctly. What you notice, of course, when the jack is played is that East surely then has a 6-card club suit. With your 10, the jack, the king and the jack on it significantly weakened the club suit. So there's excellent chances that West has a singleton jack and East had king, queen to 6 clubs when he started, down to queen to 5 at this point. So the way to make an additional trick, because if, of course, I'm assuming spades are breaking. If spades are breaking, I've got 5 tricks in spades, 2 in hearts, 1 in clubs, 1 in diamonds, 5, 6, 7. Oh dear, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yes, 9 tricks. I can actually succeed by a throw-in, getting either a rough and discard or a lead up to the 10 of clubs. So first of all, I've got to win to set up my 10 as a threat card against him, not a squeeze threat, but a threat card. Now I'm going to play the trumps, which have to be 2-2, because otherwise I'm going to have an additional spade loser and I'm not going to come close to this optimistic contract. And now I'm going to do an end play. I need to strip the suits that don't matter. And the suit I can certainly strip is the heart suit. And so the king first, so I can rough the last heart. There we go. And now I have to exit, and well, I can play the ace first, or I can play a low diamond, win the ace, and then exit. But basically, I am going to um, exit in the diamond suit. So I'm going to say cash my ace and then play a diamond, because my belief is if East ends up winning the third round of diamonds, he has to go and give me a trick with the 10 of clubs. If West wins up winning the third round of diamonds, West has to go and give me a rough and discard. So let's see these two options. Let's say that, first of all, East plays his king, won't lead the club, of course, he'll play the diamond, but now poor old West cannot play the club that partner wants to generate the two club tricks they need, and whichever card is played, we can throw one of our losers away, and now I've just got one loser here. So, do you want it to say one exit in?
Why exit in diamonds and not
not
clubs?
in clubs.
Because the 10 of
Okay.
clubs loses as a threat, Sanya. If you exit in
So
clubs.
don't forget, part of my exit. Let's go back to where you're there. Let's go back to where I am. Okay.
That's the point, yes.
One more. Okay. Right. The idea is to throw them in to lead either a club up to me or to give me a rough and discard. If I exit in clubs, Sanya, they're going to win this one. And well, hearts are gone. Throw those. He's going to cash the queen. Right. And now, well, he's not going to give a rough and discard. He's going to go and exit with a, and I have two diamond losers, right?
Diamond losers, yeah.
Right. So the key point was the fact that, knowing there was this void in clubs on the left hand side and Queen 9 of clubs on the right hand side, I wanted to exit in, well, any suited set clubs, so that if they lead clubs, then 8 of hearts.
Make a trick with your 10.
So I say I showed the example where I played the ace, and when I exited, East went up with the king, but it's just as bad if East ducks it, because now it's East is going to win the third round, and now I get my extra trick not by a rough and discard, but because the opposition have to go and lead the club suit for me, and so give me that 10 of clubs. You paid attention throughout there, right, Sanya? Yeah. I'm only going to claim the once, though. Bob, I have 3 tricks in dummy. I am hoping that I can claim 3 tricks at this point. I suspect you're okay with that, so I'm going to claim 3 tricks. Okay. Let's move on to board number 6. So I don't know. Do we need the auction? 1 spade, 2 hearts, 4 hearts.
There's no opposition bidding. You can just bid 6 hearts.
Well, sometimes the defense relies on knowing what the bidding was.
Well,
they know that when I first joined this, bidding was rarely given, and although Sanya had given the bidding in writing, people were bidding the diamond suit, but the opponents were throwing their diamonds away, because if you don't see it as a red bid on the screen, your mind doesn't properly register the fact that they're going to bid the diamond suit. So I quite like, at least when in the competition, quite like bidding it properly, because it can, just prevent trivial errors by the opponents too. But I don't particularly see, so I will save time, and that means that North is going to end up in 6 hearts. So let's do 3 passes and put 6 hearts in as the pros and track. Very good. And the lead is the 4 of clubs. So they must have. I mean, that again suggests that they probably bid all the other 3 suits to go and lead away in a slam to lead away from the king of clubs. Okay. Well, I remember this one now. This is one that Colin defended against and thought it might be because, well, let's just see what happens. It's here, and well, not obvious. North has bid diamonds. You don't really want to lead the heart, so so a club back, and of course it's roughed. There we go. And we're in dummy, so we can go and take a finesse. We'll play the ace, and the queen drops. And I really think the point was, when it was played against Colin, Declarer continued with the king of hearts, and so failed to stop the jack of hearts from making the trick. Everybody got this one right, so I assume you all know the rule, which is commonly called, after Reese, the principle of restricted choice. The idea is, let's suppose you know that with the queen drops, you're either looking at singleton queen or doubleton queen jack. So let's suppose that those 2 probabilities are equal. In that case, is it equal whether you play for a singleton or whether you play for the queen and the jack? And Reese's argument was, well, it's all very well saying that the probability of the 2 holdings are equal, but you will only see the queen half the time when it's the queen and the jack together, because a good player will vary them, trying to give you no clues. So you'll only see the queen half the time when it's queen jack, whereas when it's a singleton, his choice is restricted, and the principle of restricted choice then says assume it was forced and therefore play for it to be a singleton. Now, Reese's argument wasn't totally sound. He's certainly sound, the point he's making. It is not quite true, though, that the probabilities are equal for singleton queen and queen jack doubleton. They're both very unlikely. Singleton queen, you've got to have a 4-1 break, and then there's got to be an honor as the singleton. So that reduces the time you're going to see it. Doubleton queen jack, well, 2-2 is more likely, but now you're asking for 2 cards to be in the doubleton on the right hand side, and neither of these are large, but they do quite coincidentally work out to be almost the same. In overall terms, you'll see the singleton queen 6 I think it's 6 2/3 of the time. I think
6.25 is a singleton, and 6.67 is queen jack.
What it is, tells somebody who knows what he's doing. So,
I'm reading.
In fact, really? No, did I look it up somewhere?
I think you
I
must
don't know.
have.
I can do mathematics, you know.
There you go. Yeah.
Okay, so they're not quite the same, and if you didn't know about the principle of restricted choice, you'd say, well, one of these is slightly bigger than the other. But the fact that you only see the queen half the time when it's queen jack smashes those odds well down. It is much more likely to be a singleton than it is to be queen jack doubleton. And you see this principle as well when there are 5 cards missing. Is it singleton queen with a 4-1 break? Well, it's not very likely. But there again, while 3-2 breaks are common, now you're putting the queen and the jack into the doubleton holding. So that isn't so likely either. And strangely enough, just the same, the probabilities are roughly equal. And then the restricted choice argument says, assume it's a singleton. You're going to be right 2/3 of the time. You'd be wrong once, but you'd be right twice if you keep on playing this loads and loads of times. And I don't know why I'm telling you all this. Are you saying is defend the help?
I'll
No,
have a question in a
sorry.
second.
The best, in fact, you should never do the same thing all the time. If the opponents start to notice what let's suppose you always like to throw the queen when you have queen jack, right? In that case, when you do follow with the jack, your opponents now know exactly what you've got. It's 100% now that it's a singleton because they know you would have shown the queen. So they can now get 100% every time you throw the jack and still take the better choice without the restricted choice argument whenever you go and throw the queen. Far better is to give them no clues by randomizing the card you throw. So sometimes throw the jack. Yeah, well, partner's not in it. You want to go and make a trump trick. My partners hug me when I confuse them and set the contract. And I think your partners will do the same thing as well. So don't you worry about confusing partner. Just disguise your holding as much as you can and pray that they've never read Terence Reese's books and have never heard of the principle of
You sort of jumped in ahead of the question I was going to ask, but I will make the point, Alan, that when Amy was alive, she had a method by which, if she did have Queen Jack Doubleton, she added together the date of the month that we were in and the that we were in. So if it was July the 2nd, well, July, January, February, March, April, May, June was 7. Add the 2, make 9. If that was odd, she'd play the jack, and if it was even, she'd play the queen, and that's what she did.
I love it. Yeah. I trust what it's playing is certainly nothing that will help me. So ignore and trust your odds, assuming you know them.
Yeah, so if you know that they will always play the queen from Queen Jack, then the same argument doesn't apply to the same force. The odds are still in your favour, and if it'll be certain if they play the jack, assuming you know that. But, yeah.
Well, there are people who play the same thing.
Oh yes, indeed.
Say the argument of, oh, I'll throw the queen and it will fool them because they will think I would have played the jack.
Exactly.
Is what beginners tend to think.
Yeah.
And so, then I say if actually they spot that's what you're thinking, because if they don't know it, then you're still in the clear. But if they actually begin to see this as a pattern, then okay, let's move on to board 7. There we go. One heart, right? Okay, so I'm sure I've shortened some auction here. One heart. Oh, south? No.
Seems unlikely, somewhat. Yeah.
It does indeed. I think brilliant psych, actually.
Don't go there.
You'll try and get to 6 hearts after a 1 heart open by south.
Via Mahmood used to make psychic 3-level bids. He opened 3 hearts when he got a string full of diamonds. You try that one. Yeah, that's
right. 1 heart. Okay, so this looks like an ACOL sequence because that shows a slam interest rate. Right, okay. I should have at least alerted it, but never mind. 200 is entirely artificial. Heart fit and slam interest, and I think I've cut the rest of this short by bidding.
Bidding 6, yeah, good idea.
So I'm sure there would be at least Blackwood would have been used. See how I look after you, shortening all these auctions. Okay, so what's the lead? Double dummy, no, wrong thing to click. 5 of diamonds.
5 of diamonds. I could have told you that.
Well, what are you there for? Okay. Let's see. I've got 6 tricks there. 2 tricks in spades, but probably a loser. So 6 hearts, 2 spades, 2 there is 8. 11 with the ace of clubs. I think 6 plus 2 plus 2 plus 1 adds up to 11. So I just need one more trick, and it's probably not going to come from spades.
King Doubleton with North would do it, wouldn't it?
I suppose actually South had the. I actually saw Jack play a low spade to the Queen, but I presume he's thinking that the club finesse must be wrong, or we wouldn't have put this as a problem. I don't think that's the way to approach these hands, Jack, because it doesn't get you thinking about how to play them in real life, where you've got a 50% chance on the Queen of Clubs. Okay, so my feeling is that I probably need the club queen to be right, sorry, the club king to be right. I should probably draw trumps to get risks out of the way, take a club finesse, and then if it's there, I've made the contract. If it hasn't, well, I need to be very lucky in the subsequent game. So I need entries to where, well, I'm going to draw trumps. I'm going to end it there. I take my club finesse. And if I do anything, I need to take a spade. So I think I need to keep the king of clubs to take a late spade finesse if I have to. So I'm going to play the ace. King of diamonds is a late entry. Sorry, I get no wonder Bob can't follow what I say. So count card from Sal. I don't think it costs to play a card. It just adds a little bit of security. And then back to
5 just in case.
You never know what we play. I can't see him keeping all those clubs, really. Can you? Okay, so here we go. He's going to lead that. I would lead the 10. I've seen people cover a 10 with a jack because they've been told to. And it would be nice to have the jack covered. It's one more trick that would do me some good. You, of course, when it comes to covering, you cover the 10 with the jack to promote the 9 and the 8. Since you can see them in dummy, covering the jack is working on behalf of the declarer. So you really shouldn't, if jack was in the south hand, Sal really shouldn't be covering it, but you never know. People do. It's worth having a go. But in fact, his North has got both of them, so there's no problem here whatsoever. And things are looking a bit bleak, because if that had won, I would be making my slam in comfort. So now what do I need? Well, what comes back? Oh, sorry, he wouldn't play. He played the middle up down. So he played the 7 of diamonds back, and I win it in hand with the king. And now, well, one of my chances is that, well, I certainly need the king of spade finesse to work. North might have doubleton spade. So if I were to finesse the jack of spades and then cash the ace and the king drops, then I would be making my contract. But I can see another chance here as well, because if I cash my ace of clubs, which I think I can afford to do, my thinking is I need the spade finesse. Maybe I should take the spade finesse to find out what's going on. If this loses, I'm definitely going to go down, but I need to have something. And I think you'd keep the 10 myself. You don't signal with cards that might be winners or guards to partner's hands. So although the 10 and then the 7 to show a doubleton would be nice, that doesn't mean that you go and throw cards that might expose partner to a finesse or something. Okay, well, that's what I wanted. Now, Sal didn't cover. I'll give him another chance to cover. No, okay. Now, what I'm also hoping here is that North has got the Jack of Clubs. Because if North has the Jack of Clubs, he must guard it against the threat of the Eight of Clubs, which is in the East hand. And if he's guarding that, he will not also be able to hold on to many tricks in the spade suit. So basically a squeeze. I'm going to run off all my heart winners, and hopefully North will end up having to throw all these useful spades away in order to keep the Jack of Clubs. And then I will make tricks out of the spade suit. So let's see this happen. I need to be in hand to do this, because my last card, North must follow, and then I make a decision. Do I throw away the Eight of Clubs, or has it become a winner? So I'm going to cross over to a dummy with the King, play back to my hand with, say, the Jack, and now, well, I'll throw a club, no problem. Now when I start throwing these, I'm keeping the 8 until I have to make this crucial decision. This is it. This is the magic moment where I hope North is having to hang on to the Jack of Clubs, and therefore will not be able, and I know he's got the King of Spades, but he will not be able to hang on to it. If he throws that Jack, I would just throw that away, and I've got throw the 6 of Spades away, and I will have 2 winners in the dummy. So I don't think he will do that. I think although actually I suppose it's almost,
You already know his partner.
yeah, partner
Queen.
would have put the Queen of Spades on the Jack, so he knows that whatever he does, it's time to. Okay, this time he hasn't thrown the club, so my 8 of Clubs is useless. So I go and throw that away. And now, well, he should have a singleton King of Spades. Yes, he does have a singleton King of Spades. And so I make that one. And unusually, I see this was a real hand, an abbreviated accord sequence. Oh, normally I say who's playing it. It's possible people I didn't know and I just observed it played against somebody else. So a real hand, and well, I think I played again, Jack. For you. So export to the
If
table.
you play to the Queen of Spades first, you're relying on the club finesse. Unless the spades are
Well,
3-3.
you're relying on giving away the location of the King of Clubs too. It's the 6 hearts by West, isn't it? And the previous is 6 hearts by West. So
That's what I'm saying. You need either the club finesse or the spades 3-3.
okay, so these is a diamond, and it is there, so signals length, and
Without losing a club bob. No.
where am I? So I'm going to play a heart to dummy, play a heart back, and again I keep all that number of clubs, and now
Follow with a heart.
thank you. Yeah, okay. So Jack's line is to lead a spade. Now I don't know if the king is in the south hand. He would have to duck it, or you set up 3 spades automatically to discard a club. So Jack has a point in the sense that, but as it went, a spade was led, and the queen was played. Okay. And now, well, various. Had you stripped the diamonds, Jack, before you did this to try to manage an end play?
North connects it with a spade anyway.
he certainly shouldn't. He shouldn't exit with the club. You're leading up to
Uh,
somebody who's just got a bit of slam, and either way, you have no right. So I mean, they can just exit on a dime, and now you can sort of do your squeeze procedure of playing off uh, all of the hearts, but you're guessing now when North, who will wish to go and guard the spades, throws away the 5, the 6, and the jack of clubs, Jack. You had stripped the diamonds. Okay, well then he's got to go.
he'll exit with a spade.
If I pretend you had exited on the, you had stripped the diamonds. He goes and exits on a spade. Here we go. So you're gonna play the jack here. That does well. Okay. Now North is always going to keep the 9 and the 8 of spades. So when you play up the hearts, he throws away the 5, the 6, and the jack of clubs. How do you know whether to finesse? I mean,
It's because it's a problem. He knows it's wrong.
I think you say Alan wouldn't have given this problem if the club finesse was right. So I'm going to place the king and then go. But that's not really the way to go and play these hands, because
He could put the same argument that you wouldn't give this problem if the spade finesse was right, but the spade finesse was right. So.
Okay, well,
Yeah, I agree with you. You shouldn't be thinking along those lines. So. Yeah, but 3-3 is against the odds, Jack.
no, Jack's right. He could have played, instead of going for the squeeze, he could have tried the spades with 3-3 before he fell back on the club finesse. So it's not a silly. It goes down because he would try for 3-3 and then the club finesse fail. But you Jack's right. It's not a silly line. You get the chance that the king of clubs is in the south hand and he rises with the king. You get the chance that spades are 3-3, and then you don't need to take the well, it's sort of 3-3. Yeah, because after the queen loses to the I'm not sure. I suppose the king of spades was right, and he ducks it. You see, I don't know, Jack. I don't know. Too many options to work through while everybody's watching. So I have some sympathy. I can see that it does have some working ability. So let's go on to the last hand to see if we can finish before midnight. What were the comments?
You've got 2 versions of this one, Alan.
Was that a Morton's Fort? No, it wasn't. I know. Thank you, Colin. Okay. Right. So export the last one. Well, this isn't the last one, actually. If you can cast your mind back to when you played this, the east-west hands are the hands that I gave you, but I've actually subtly altered the north-south hands.
You're a little rushed.
So let me share. Let me put the contract up so you can see what it was. It's a 1 spade, 2 spades, 4 spades, and again I can cut all that short for you by bidding 4 spades straight away. And the lead is the queen of clubs. Okay, now, in a sense, this is an easy hand to analyze. As ever, you count your tricks, and you can see that you got 1 spade trick with the ace, 3 heart tricks with ace, king, queen, ace of clubs, which brings you up to 5, and the ace of diamonds for 6. So somehow or other, you have to go and set up 4 more tricks. Well, you'll obviously get some from the 5 card spaced on the right. But whether you're really going to get 4 additional tricks from that suit is remote. Maybe you can set up the club suit, and maybe you can set up the diamond suit. Well, the most you can set up there is and one additional trick, because the most balanced break you can have is a 4-3, and you would have to rough 3 of them and then score the last diamond. And while one additional trick is nice, I need 4 additional tricks here. So a much more reasonable line to try and make 4 additional tricks is to rough 2 things in the dummy being the west hand. I should be able to rough, say, the 4th round of hearts. I should be able to rough a club, because I can throw a club away on the 3rd round of hearts. And if I score 2 roughs in the west hand, then I've only got to go make 2 tricks out of my 5-card spade suit, the queen, the 7, the 5, and I've got good chances. I might just be able to make them by roughing the diamonds, for instance. So I will be able to make 2 tricks. Maybe the queen of spades is the right side of the king. 2 tricks from my 5-card suit, but in particular, I'm desperate to try and get 2 tricks from the dummy by roughing things. And to do that, it's very important that we win the first round of clubs. You'll see why, the real reason why, in a short time. But it's also, there's a danger that the opponents was, in fact, if the opponents, because they not could cover this. After all, his partner's the queen, so there's queen, jack, and the 10, so there's no real loss of power. And if you were to duck the first round and they do switch to trumps, that would actually take you down. They've started to attack what you wish to do, and you've restricted your options by not winning the first time round. So I don't. Dear. No, I don't want to leave the table. It's back down here, isn't it? Right. Okay. So let's go back to here. I said it's a good play to overtake the king, although you've got to be a fairly good player to see that you've got the diamonds wrapped up with the queen jack. Looks like you've got the clubs wrapped up. Unclear about the hearts, but you do have the jack. So taking the trumps out to stop roughs, it would be a sensible defensive line for North. But what you do is win with the ace, because your plan is to take as many roughs in dummy as possible. So here we go. Ace, king, queen. I'm assuming there's equal ratio. Throw a club, because I want to go and rough a club. Excellent news. And now I lead my last club. No, I don't. I lead my last heart. Okay. Now, South is not very well placed here. I mean, if he decides to go and rough, he severely weakens his trumps, in which his partner had a winner. His partner's got a winning heart. And you just change your plan by throwing away the 8 of clubs. And now it's just as easy for you to go and bluff 2 clubs on the right-hand side, but even easier for you to make tricks out of your 5-card spade suit, because now one of their big trumps has disappeared, making life a lot easier for you. So I don't think that's what South will do. It's quite rare, actually, to be correct to rough in front of your when your partner's got a winner. So you could say, for instance, throw away a diamond. That gives you a chance of over roughing declarer. So now I score my first rough. I told you I want to make as many roughs as possible. Now I'm working on my second rough. So up goes the 10. Really keen to get in. And let's try and clear the trumps. Well, I would use these trumps to get back to hand later. So I'm going to play small, because I don't want. I mean, if the queen won, I'd have to play the 8, and then I'd be roughing my club with the ace of spades. So it has to be wrong to put the queen up. Here we go. The 10 forces out the ace, but I'm going to have no problem scoring that rough I told you about. Another one. There we go. And as long as there's reasonable rates, excellent news. So here's my ruff. This is the second ruff. I wanted it from the start. I managed to go and get it. Really good news. And now maybe I can make another diamond ruff, but even if I can't make another diamond ruff, and I can't, South is thrown in now. It wouldn't matter if he had king and nine of spades. He would have to go and lead away from his holding. And so I make my 10th trick, as I always hoped to, from the power of that 5-card suit in dummy. So the thing to realize here, you start with 6 tricks. That's a long way from the goal. Where do I get 4 more from? Well, you can see there's some hope of getting some from your spacesuit, but the real thing is you've got to go and plan to take ruffs in the dummy with that 8 and the 2 to maximize your chances. And because South had 3 hearts, they were really left with no recourse when you led that 4th round of hearts. If they had ruffed in, you simply throw away your club. So that wasn't the hand I gave you. Oh, this is bad.
That's it. That's the board 8 again, but Alan. Yeah, board 9 is board 8 again.
I know it is, but what's happened is I've copied it. There was a fault developed on. You see, it's still a 3-card suit, Colin. 3-card heart suit. Let me try a different set of hands. I know. Let me go to it's my account, isn't it? So let me try the 9th hand. No, the 8th hand in. Try this one. This is the hand I actually gave you. Excellent news. So we managed to get it anyway. My goodness. I'll tell you what went wrong sometimes, Sanya. It's a very strange error. Export it to the table, upload to the bid table. Here we go with our contract, which is 4 spades by East. So pass, 4 spades. Okay. And the lead is the Queen of Diamonds, I assume. No, South lead, Queen of Clubs, right? And so it's the same hand for East and West. So no problem. I won't go through it again. I've got 6 tricks. I need 4 more. I'm going to take 2 ruffs in dummy and then plan to make the additional tricks in my wonderful, not too strong spacesuit. So here we go with the same plan. Again, same logic. It's probably right to try and get the lead and play a spade, but I'm not taking any chances. So Ace of Hearts. King of Hearts. Queen of Hearts. And that means I throw a club away. Lovely. And now the bad news. When I lead the last heart, it's South who follows this time because this is the hand I gave you where South had 4 hearts. Now, this is terrible because my plan was to ruff the heart and then later on ruff a club. But if I ruff the heart, I'm going to be over ruffed. I mean, the 8, South might have Jack 10, 9 of spades, but it's odds against, isn't it? So if I ruff at this point, I will go down because now the most I can manage is 1 ruff with the hand on the left-hand side. So what I have to do is hope that instead of ruffing hearts, I can ruff the clubs twice and let them have their 10 of hearts. Maybe I can ruff 2 clubs and so make my contract by the 2 ruffs I keep saying I desperately want. What will North do? Bit unclear, really. He might decide to ruff and play a spade. He may decide to throw a club away. Let's do the club first. If he throws a club away, even if South leads a spade, I don't know where the king is. I'm going to rise with the ace. And I don't want to play this much further, but can you see I'm going to have no problem making this contract because I'm going to do ace of diamonds, ruff a diamond, ruff my first club. I can ruff another diamond and ruff my last club. And I've just made 10 tricks. If I do ace of diamonds, 2 diamond ruffs, 2 club tricks, I have just made myself up to the 10 tricks that I need. So even though I didn't run it round to my, there's dangers running it round to the queen. It's all very well. Yes, I scored, but the king of spades could be in the north hand. But the worst thing is that, yes, I make a trick with the queen, but then I've got to go and ruff one of my clubs with the ace of spades because I followed with the 2, and then I ruff a club with the 8, and I ruff a club with the ace, which is terrible. So you should rise with the ace to make sure that you ruff your clubs with the 2 losings. Is that what North would do? That was if North had decided to throw a club. Not that it matters. North might decide, as his partner wins up, maybe he's going to ruff it anyway. Now he can try and draw trumps by leading through the queen. Well, it makes no difference. I put the 10 in, and look, I've got my ruffs again. I'm going to do ace of diamonds. Ruff a diamond. Ruff a club. Ruff a diamond. And magically, here comes my extra trick. And now I'm even with a chance of an over trick because I don't know the king of spades is here. So I'll probably lead the 6. And, well, I put the queen up hoping the king is in the north hand. No such luck. So I don't make an over trick. I just make my contract. So this hand was all about seeing that you start with 6 tricks, you need 4 more, and you can use that ace, king, queen of hearts to create a club ruff and also to create a second ruff, either by throwing a club away if things have gone one way, or by ruffing the heart, coming back and ruffing a club. Once you get your count up to 8, then you've got excellent chances of making 2 more tricks, especially with what a likely diamond ruff. You have an excellent chance of getting your remaining 2 tricks from the although the spades look very weak, you still got a very good chance of getting 2 extra tricks that way. Let's go back to board number 1 now, which is okay. So
What would you do with that, man?
4 hearts. I don't know whether Bob wants the bidding.
I don't think it matters.
No, this isn't for you.
Okay.
This is because Bob wanted to see the. I don't know whether he wanted to see the auction or not. I didn't do the auction. What did you want to see, Bob? You wanted it played through. I claimed too quickly. Is that what happened? Please, right. Okay. So remind us that this is right. Okay. So this is the one where you see that things are desperate, and you want to go and set up a spade trick for a discard. Unfortunately, there's no entries to the hand. So even if you can set up the queen of spades, you're unable to cash it and get back to dummy to use the ace of spades. So it's a very subtle hand in that you really wish to get your trick by finessing the jack of spades. So you play a spade here, not to make it, because if you duck this, you will not be able to take the spade finesse of the jack, and you will not have the communication to use the to throw away the club. You actually have to unblock that to set up the spade finesse. Then when they continue playing the clubs, again, it's an emergency. You have to do this straight away. You have to finesse, and you become a happy man when you're able to throw away the losing club. You're now down to only 3 losers. And I think this is the point at which I claimed, but there's little to the play, Bob, if I did. I mean, I go and lead a heart and put the queen up. They try and cash a club. And I can rough it. I draw another round of trumps to make sure. And even another trump I have to. Now I've only got the ace of diamonds missing. So I play the diamond. He'll probably duck the first one. Win the second. Try the third, because that's the only place, but no. And now I've just got trumps left. They can always leave, Bob. We've gone over all the hands, so you're perfectly entitled to have a look again. Now I feel I can claim I've got trumps and they've got none. You're not certain why, if you lead to the queen of spades. Oh, well, sort of. I've got to reload them. Mind you, playing it back to that point. Playing 2 tricks. Yeah. Right. I'll show you how it fails then, Bob. I think that will see you through it. So if I export it to the table, upload to the edge of the table, and it is again 4 hearts by south. Yeah, okay. So 4 hearts by south. All right, so queen of clubs. And I win. I do the thing. Now, you're thinking I should keep the queen of spades because it's a winner.
Well, let's see what happens if you do.
Okay. It's Lisa. Thank you for your comment, Lisa. Is that right, Bob? You think I put the 5 in and now I've got my 2 tricks, right? I've got my ace of spades, queen of spades. Yes. Okay, here we go then. So it probably signal then. Okay, they continue with the clubs. So, well, I can't afford to lose the club. I win with the ace. Okay, I cash my first spade. And now all I have to do is cash the ace of spades and discard the club, right? So
he says you get there with a trump.
Okay, so I'm going to cross the dummy with the king of hearts. Well, I'm going to duck that one because they just played the ace, Bob. And now they're cashing the jack. Not so good, really. And now they're cashing the ace of diamonds. Okay.
Yeah, the
I've
point
just gone down, Bob.
Couldn't get to dummy in time to take the discard without losing the lead. That was the problem.
Well, it's of course once you see it, it's you have to really play these hands through in your mind, because while your first instinct, my first instinct would be play towards the queen of spades and set up a discard, and then I would think, and I'm going to get this discard bar, and I would play, and I would see that. Does she? No, she's a saint. How could she lose patience? Yeah, are you talking of the same Sanya? You must be talking of a different Sanya. Okay, I think we're done here, folks. Nice to see you all again.
Thanks very much, Alan.
And Colin should be back next week to entertain you again. Okay, I am, what am I studying? I'm going to stop the recording first of all, and then I'll tell you what else I'm going to do. So more, stop recording. Let's pause it.